You can probably guess what's happening here. I'm about to show you a secret spot in Arc Raiders that's pretty awesome. But I don't want to show you this spot for you to go and flock it like crazy. I want to show you this spot to make a point about Arc Raiders loot and the magic that is exploring in Arc Raiders. Whilst it's great to watch loot route videos and get a good idea of where you can find specific things and get an optimal route to save time, one of the best ways you can find the best loot in Arc Raiders is just following your own route, finding the best places that work for you. And the reason is just really quite simple. These maps are filled with secrets, hidden areas, and what's really amazing is if you look at something and ask yourself, can I get up there? The answer might just be yes, you can. And not only that, the devs might have thought about it and put up some secret loot there for you to find. I do think optimal loot routes are a great way for you to get some of the basics, but it can get pretty congested when a loot route video goes popular. We've seen it on my channel. I've shown some loot routes and then the video gets tons of views and suddenly it's just not going to work anymore. One of the reasons being people get there before you. The second reason, it becomes a PvP hotspot. Whilst I do like making loot route videos to show you some of the best places to get good loot, I want to showcase to you just how amazing Arc Raiders can be for you to explore and find loot in your own ways. As long as you're looting the right containers, you're going to find loot. And as you play more, you'll realize all of the containers kind of follow similar patterns, right? Rusted boxes can have rusted tools and potential blueprints. Weapon boxes can have weapons and weapon blueprints. Ammo boxes, the same story. So if you understand the different container types, all you have to do is find out where they spawn. And sometimes, whilst the biggest, most hectic area in the center of the map might have the most loot density, it's also going to have the most player density. So, exploring in places that aren't necessarily named on the map or a little bit out of the way might just surprise you, especially if you've spawned nearby to check out these areas. So the next time you spawn into a map in Arc Raiders, I'd highly suggest you taking a look at the map and exploring around, because you might be surprised at exactly what you can find. Some of the examples you can see here are on the dam map, and I do want to just run through some examples you can see on the other maps as well. It's a nice way for you to see that exploration in Arc Raiders is honestly the key to success. Not only will you be able to find a bunch of loot like this that nobody else knows about, you can find your own optimal loot route and figure out what works best for you and keep it a secret, right? All of these YouTube loot route videos, and I'm guilty of it myself, just blow up a spot and make it way too PvP focused. And sometimes that can be pretty fun. But if you want to find your spot, you've got to do it on your own terms. So pick a map you like. Look at the POIs, zoom into the map, and have a real good look at what could potentially be around. And check all of the buildings. You might be surprised at which buildings have good loot. I honestly believe there's a lot of secrets, Easter eggs, and hidden areas in Arc Raiders that nobody has found. And this game is really, really popular. But if you have a look around at the map, you'll find all sorts of iconography and strange things that just don't quite make sense. And they make you wonder, why have the devs put that here? What does it mean? For example, the starting area where I just showed you, there's a bunch of weird things around, and some of them have specific designs, like one is a football. Like, what is the meaning behind this? Maybe it is just a wacky art style to explain the apocalypse, or maybe there's more behind it. A lot of the secret puzzles on Blue Gate were found through just kind of exploring, and I think that a lot of the other areas of the map that have less foot traffic could also have a lot of secret areas worth exploring too. A good example of this would be a lot of areas in the underground of Blue Gate. Whilst the optimal routes are to run along the ground and go past all the weapon crates, you'll find if you look up, you'll find a lot of secret passageways and areas that you can walk or climb in that if you didn't look, you might not have noticed it's even there. Or what about this? I can put my zipline down here. Who knows what's up here? Nothing this time, but maybe next time we'll find something else. And I'm not here to say that you're going to find the best loot ever by exploring and looking at places that you might not have otherwise checked, but you might find a place that nobody else knows about that you can always come back to when you next go onto that map. And You keep it to yourself or, don't share it too much online, it'll end up being your spot that you can always rely on. Here's another example. How many people have walked by this unnamed tower just outside of Checkpoint? Well, if we go inside, you can see that there's a ladder leading up to the very top. One lootable box there, and I'd be very surprised if there wasn't a weapon crate or something else that spawned up here potentially. There's always places that you can find in Arc Raiders if you just look around and don't just follow the most optimal route. Here's another ladder. Look at this. There's so many places that just lead to what might feel like almost nowhere. But if you can come up here, now we can jump up on this walkway here. Suddenly, we have a whole passageway to walk down. And look at this. We'll go down this way, and it follows into this secret route. Now, this room itself may not be secret, but the route that we've took to get there was pretty interesting. Oh, look, just by following my own route and going wherever I want to, I've opened a container here and found a key. So, it doesn't matter. You don't have to follow the exact optimal route you found on YouTube. It can be a good starting point, but I'd highly recommend having an exploration and see where you can go, where you can't go. Because I can guarantee you right now, there's not been anybody that's walked through this area. And now we are on the overhead area above where the Bastion spawns. I'm sure a lot of people have walked across here, but as you might be able to expect, you can walk along this walkway here. And I am above all of the players that might not really know about this spot. We can come down here, right into this section down here as well. And as you can see, there's a lot more different boxes here that you might not have noticed. The irony of it all, of me making optimal loot route videos to show you all where to get the best loot, is that a lot of people will go there, which makes it less likely for you to find good loot there and more likely for you to get killed by another player. Now, there's a lot of fun in that, like I said sometimes, but if you feel like you just can't find a good place to loot because every time you watch a YouTube video, everyone else goes there, just explore and you'll be surprised at what you can find in this game. And give it a couple days, and I'm sure these popular optimal loot routes that we've all been talking about in videos will be a little bit less hotspot-like, right? When a video goes out to a lot of people, the chances are a lot of people will just go there for the first few days, but later on, it will calm down a bit, and then you can get in here. Don't forget these optimal spots, okay? Because they are good, and I'm leaving this at the end of the video because most people would have left by now, but if you remember all of the optimal loot routes that I have shared across my channel, give it a few days, come back later, once everyone's kind of forgotten about it and moved on, that's when you'll have the route to yourself. So I just wanted to share my thoughts on it, and go and have fun out there. Explore Arc Raiders. You'll be surprised at what you might find.